And today I'm going to do that spinach and squash soup for you, and also make a fresh broth to go in an onion soup. And to make fresh broth, well, you have to follow a few little rules. And here we have some meats that I like to use for making a good beef broth. And I start with some shin bone and also some chicken I put in my beef broth, and I put some beef bones in and some beef brisket, maybe about 3 pounds combined. And if you didn't have access to all of this, well, then you could just find tough pieces of meat that take a long time to cook and use them on a simmer. And then with that, I like to have some vegetables, and here these are just my aromatic vegetables. I've got carrots and onion and celery and some whole peppercorns and fresh tomatoes, and then that flat leaf spinach or parsley that I got out of the garden, just tied in a little bouquet. And that goes in the pot, and you cook all of that, the meat first, and then take it out, and then put the vegetables in and let that cook. And then you can use the meats in other things, because today I want a fairly clear broth to do the zuppa di cipolla. So now here is my cooked broth, and there's my meat, and I've got to get that out now, so I want to take that out. I want to take the meats out carefully, so do that with a slotted spoon. And as you're cooking this, of course, you want to skim the top of the soup. Take off the foam that accumulates on top of the soup as it's cooking. So there's a couple more pieces of bone in there that I want to get out. And I want to pour the rest of this with the vegetables right into my strainer. Just like that. Get all that in. It smells wonderful. And then what you want to do is take a spoon and start pushing on all of these vegetables. You see, you want to get out all of the flavor of the vegetables, the carrot and the celery and the onion. Well, it's going right here. Here I've got my onions, about 5 cups of white onions that I've cooked in a little bit of olive oil with some pancetta, which is Italian bacon. I've just let the onions wilt down some. And now I'm ready to put the beef broth in. And I want, about 5 to 6 cups. So carefully get it into the pot. And really, that's all there is to making a good beef broth and now a good onion soup. So now I'm going to let this simmer covered, for about 30 minutes or so. And then I'll come back and I'll give that a little bit of salt and pepper later on. I want to have some bread, so I need to put some olive oil now. I want to put a little bit of olive oil in a frying pan. I better put a little bit more. And heat that up. And then get yourself some good Italian bread. And then cut up, 1/2 inch to 1 inch slices. And make sure you're using good Italian bread. If you're not making this at home, well, then you can always find a bakery that has good bread. And then take the pieces and put them in the oil, you see? And you simply want to brown those on both sides. Now, if you didn't want to do it this way, well, then you could do it by toasting it in the oven. So let me see how we're doing. All right, those bread slices are doing well. I'm going to turn those over. And just cook them for a minute or so on the other side. Oh, that's a hot one. And then I'm ready to add the rest of my ingredients to my soup. So now I want milk and I want water. Milk and water. Well, here's my milk, but I don't see water. Oh, here it is, right here, right in front of me. I don't know what's wrong with me today. 3 cups of water, so there they are. You want to drain those on paper. And I think we can turn that off, and that's looking beautiful as well. And for this, well, the first thing you have to do is get your broiler on, because this soup isn't finished yet. And then you want to put, about a teaspoon of sherry in soup bowls that can go under the broiler. And then again, you take some of that soup, you see, just like that, put it into your soup bowls, and look at what a beautiful light broth this made. And then with this, I like to have some cheese. And here we have Swiss cheese, so a slice of Swiss in each, and then a couple pieces of that bread that we sauteed in each, and then another slice of cheese over the top, and then some of that Parmigiano Reggiano that we grated. And this you take right over to the broiler. You put this under the broiler and you let it stay there until the cheese is nicely browned.